Hello, bros and female bros. How is life? Today we have a new game, Betrayal. So we're going to try to find out how to play this, and we're going to tell you if it's any good and if it's worth buying. The official name of the game is Betrayal at House on the Hill 3rd edition. We had tried this game before in a board game cafe and really enjoyed it. But back then, we had a guide who helped us with the rules and even acted as some kind of a narrator. I liked the game so much that I ordered it from UK, thanks to a fan of mine. So let's see what the game is about and if you would like it, without spoilers of course. At the very core, the premise is you are a group of explorers who enter a seemingly abandoned house for a reason of your choice. After a while, the house becomes haunted, and someone turns out to be a traitor. At that point, you learn what the haunt is and what to do to win the game. This is where the fun comes from. The game has like 50 scenarios. At the beginning, you choose one of the reasons why you enter the house in the first place, from the scenario cards. I advise you to choose a random card. When we played, our reason was to look for a missing person and having a tip that he might be in the house. The reason you enter also affects the type of haunting you'll see later in the game, because every scenario has some specific haunting types on its card. If you're confused, don't worry, I'll give an example later. The game is basically split into two parts, before the haunting and after the haunting starts. As you enter the house, at the beginning you only explore the rooms and find whatever loot you can. Exploring is done by going through a door to an empty space. When that happens, you pick an appropriate tile from the tile deck. For example, if you're in the upper floor, you pick a tile which has the word upper on it, like upper landing or just upper. If you don't see the word, you check the next one till you find it. On the tile you opened, you'll probably see the symbol of an item card, an event card, or an omen card. Item card is something which will help you in the game, like a weapon. Event card is something which happens when you enter that room, either good or bad. For example, you hear a creepy sound, get scared, and lose a sanity point. Omen card is also mostly an item, but it turns up the omen level of the house, which may trigger the haunt. I won't bore you with rule details. That's the rulebook's job. Basically, each time you have an omen, the chance of the house becoming haunted increases. And at some point, you roll big enough and the haunt of the house triggers. Now the real fun begins. There are two books which come with the game, one being for the traitor, the other for the rest of the players. You check the number of the haunt from the haunt card and open that section. Most of the time, whoever triggers the haunt is the traitor, but it may differ. For example, it may say the player with the highest knowledge skill is the traitor. Either way, the traitor and other explorers open the section in their book and check the scenario and what their goal is. For example, the traitor has conjured a ghost and the other players are trying to destroy it before getting killed themselves. There can be one traitor, multiple traitors, no traitors as in co-op mode, or everyone for themselves like we had in our last game session. Of course, I won't spoil the scenarios, but the good thing is, even if you have played a scenario before, you can replay it. It's more like a game mode than a plot twist. The reason why you shouldn't read the books beforehand is that so you don't spoil the fun. Otherwise, it doesn't give you too much of an advantage. In the game, there are 12 characters to choose from, and they're not just pawns on the board. Each of them has little backstories, but most importantly, different skills to start from. I recommend picking this randomly also. I really hoped I wouldn't get the character which looks like a Karen, but I did it anyway. After all, it got me to win the game, so it's good to try some randomness, I guess. The characters have 4 skills: might, speed, knowledge, and sanity. If any of these skills drop to 0, you're dead. When you attack someone, you usually use might, but may be able to use others if you have different items. To attack, you roll as many dice as your might skill. So does your opponent, and the difference in number determines who gets what damage. By the way, the dice only have 0, 1 and 2 on them, lowering the random chances to get extremes and winning or losing because of a single roll. Speed determines how many tiles you can move in one turn, although opening a new room tile ends your move. You also use speed skill for other purposes. For example, when using a gun. Knowledge is useful when you need to have knowledge check for certain occasions, so is sanity. And if you're lucky, you may find an item which allows you to attack with mental skills instead of physical. Super useful if you're a physically weak character. As conclusion, Betrayal at House on the Hill is the perfect game for casual board gamers like us. The rules are easy to learn and straightforward. Each session takes just a few hours, and it has good replayability. I also like the fact that it's randomly either a co-op, semi-co-op, or competitive game. I personally don't like full co-op games because it doesn't feel fun when you're trying to win against nobody. Thankfully, this game is rarely that. If you're like us, who get together every month or so, and play more than one different game every time, this game will definitely be a good addition to your quick game inventory. Yeah, so this was the end of the video. Until next time, take care and good luck.